Hey beautiful people, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Samantha, and today we're continuing in on the conversation we started last week. We were talking about self-love and self-appreciation, just building your self-esteem. We were talking about how to build and maintain a healthy self-esteem. So in carrying on from where we left off, I just wanted to ask you a question. Do you even like yourself? Do you like yourself yet? Because it's one thing for us to talk about building a self-esteem and all the things that you should do and the things that you should not do or think about when you're looking at building and maintaining a healthy self-esteem, a healthy self-value and self-worth, which allows you to decide or to determine not just the things that people will do and say to you, but also the things that will affect you. People can always be people, and people can always say what they think, what they want, and like what they like, and also dislike what they dislike. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility and an authority to choose what we allow to affect us in a negative way and to build us up in a positive way. Oh, there's an aircraft flying by. Oh, I'm in Mauritius, by the way. In case you're wondering, I just wanted to take you guys along on one of my trips. And I actually might do this more often, where I bring you along on my trips so you can kind of experience the other part of my life. So just let me know in the comment section below if you like it, or if you don't, then I'll always keep it at home and on the couch where you guys will be more comfortable. And anyway, so getting to talking about self-love and building yourself up to being the best version of yourself. As we said in the last video, it starts with appreciating who you are, appreciating your individuality, and appreciating who God has made you to be. And acknowledging every good thing that is in you, your great characters, your great virtues, and also recognizing that as individuals and as people, we have weaknesses, and our weaknesses tend to be our liabilities if we don't work on them, if we don't build ourselves up or work on minimizing the negative impacts of our negative thinking, our negative thoughts. Like right now, we're by the ocean. This is a large amount of water that we're looking at, but in essence, it's made up of a drop. So one drop will seem insignificant, but when that drop adds and keeps dropping and dropping, you'll have a little puddle. And before you know it, you have a bucket full. And before you know it, you have an ocean. The same way it is with our thoughts. It's about the things that we allow into our minds, the music that we're listening to, the movies that we're watching, those things. And I've heard one minister talking, I heard him say that these things are not made to mentor you. They're there to entertain you, and they're there to make money. So honestly, guys, we have a responsibility to ourselves as to what we allow to take in and what we allow to influence us and to affect us negatively, positively. We have to take what the world gives us and make the most of it. Like an orange or a lemon, any fruit. When you squeeze it, the only thing that comes out is what's already inside. So we have to be careful about the things that we're taking in. The people that we surround ourselves with, they really play a big part in how we see ourselves. So if you don't like where you are, or the circumstances or the environment that you find yourself in, just know that you have power and ability to move out of it. How you move out of those relationships and how you can move successfully out of those situations and more comfortably without creating tension and contention and seeming like you're better than other people. We'll talk about that, and let me know again in the comment section below if you want us to talk about that, because there's a way to transition out of unhealthy relationships. I don't even know why or how I got here, but I feel like maybe somebody needed to hear that. So when it comes to loving yourself, it's easy for us to talk about self-love and loving yourself and showing yourself love, but what does it really look like? What does it look like on a practical everyday term? To me, it starts with how you think of yourself. What you say to yourself and what you say of yourself when nobody's around, when nobody's listening, forgiving yourself, being able to forgive yourself of your own past mistakes, of your own wrong thinking, your own wrong believing. There are times when I've had to change the way that I think. I've had to unlearn things that I've learned my whole life. Those things that have kept my believing, have kept my my life philosophy, the things that have made me believe or think the way that I think right now, which may or may not be serving me well. So we have a responsibility to say, is what I'm thinking, what I'm believing, the way that I'm living, is it really and truly serving me well? And if it's not, then I have to change it. I have to change the way that I'm thinking. I have to even read books. I have to read the Bible. I have to find something meaningful and deep to establish my beliefs in. It all starts with a belief. Who you believe you are, who you believe created you, and if you believe you have a purpose or not. Do you just think you're here by happenstance, or are you here by purpose? What you believe of yourself is going to be the most important thing, because that's going to affect how you relate with yourself, how you speak to yourself, and it's going to affect how you speak to other people. Again, we talked about being squeezed. If you squeeze a lemon juice is going to come out. So regardless of who squeezed it, what's going to come out is only what's inside. So it's important to focus within and what you're feeding yourself to give you that fruit. If you're responding to people in anger, it doesn't matter who angered you or who said what. Watch the way that you respond. Are you responding to people in love and in kindness when they are not nice to you, when they've been unkind to you? How you're responding to people is usually a good indication of what is inside of you. And I don't say this to make you feel condemned or to make you feel bad about yourself or to pump yourself up and say, oh, I'm the kindest person. But if you really want to know where you are in terms of how you see yourself, where you are and where you need to build yourself up and to build yourself up, just see how you respond to people when you've been annoyed. I remember one day I was at work, something happened, and I didn't say anything, but I know the way that I reacted in myself. I was so annoyed. And then later on, I was looking at myself, I was like, oh wow, I thought I am more kind and more patient than this, but why did I respond to that person in that way? Yes, what they did was annoying, but the way that I responded also reflected and showed me where I am in my growth, in my personal growth. So when you now identify where you are, you can identify the things that you need to work on, but also always acknowledge that you are able, that you have power and you have authority and you have responsibility over your life. You have responsibility over the way that you respond to life situations, life circumstances, no matter what comes at you. Your responsibility is how you respond. So you are responsible. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that book just did it for me. That's one of the things, my key takeaways from that book is that I am responsible. And my responsibility is how I respond to situations and circumstances, because life is happening to everyone. Life is happening to each and every one of us. So talking about loving ourselves is not enough or is not complete until we talk about what loving yourself looks like. And one of the main things that I keep talking about and I keep emphasizing and trying to emphasize is forgiving yourself. Your ability to forgive yourself when you make mistakes or when you come short of your own standards, of your own expectations of yourself. Your ability to forgive yourself and to move on is going to play a big part in self-acceptance and loving yourself. Nobody does it right 100% of the time. And your relationship with yourself is so important. I feel like we underrate it, we underplay it. And so I've written down a few things that I found really captivating when it comes to self-forgiveness or forgiveness in general. And one of the things that Oprah said is that forgiveness is giving up any hope that the past could have been any different. So forgiving yourself is letting go so that the past does not hold you prisoner or hostage. I personally use the Bible for reference for a lot of things, and Romans 8 says, "There's therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus." So you are not condemned. Even when you make mistakes and you do the wrong thing, just realize that even God is not condemning you. That your conscience that's eating you up is like a self-regulation device. So how can you say, like a thermostat? So another way to show self-love and to treat yourself well is to treat yourself like someone you love. That I was treating myself less than I was treating the next person. That the things that I was buying for this person are things that I would never buy for myself. So if I'm going to wear a perfume, I would buy myself maybe a $30, $40 perfume at the max. but I'm willing to pay as much as $300, $400, $500 for something that this person really, really likes and really wants as an expression of my love for them. So in part of my healing and going out of that journey, I realized that I was treating myself less than the people that I thought I loved. And I decided to bring it back home. I decided to treat myself the way that I would want someone to treat me if they loved me. So all those things that I like, little things that make me happy, it may not even be that fancy, but it's just deciding that I'm choosing me right now, and I'm choosing to value myself and allow myself to experience the little things that make me happy. And I found out that it's made me a better person. Come to a place and a point where I'm beyond just taking the things that people say to me and about me at face value. I now have a filter. I have a filter to say, okay, what this person has said about me, is it true? Am I really like this? And truly, sometimes people are telling you the things about yourself that you don't know, some negative qualities about yourself that you're not looking at. And pretty recently, a really good friend of mine was telling me about discipline, that I'm indisciplined. He didn't say it in so many words, but after that conversation, I was like, wow, I have been so indisciplined in so many areas, and I thought that all the other things were my problem. And I thought my work schedule was the problem, and I thought this was the problem. But I have been indisciplined because I am not disciplined. So I was like, wow, thank God for this person telling me this. So sometimes people will say things to you that hurt you, that annoy you. But if you take those things and you run them through a filter and say, could this be true? Could this be a reflection of myself that even I don't recognize? Could this be a reflection of myself that I'm not aware of? That can also help you to dig into your character and address those things, those weaknesses that are actually hindering you from being the best version of yourself, that are actually hindering you from self-actualization. Are they saying that because it's true, or are they saying that because it's a hurt that they're expressing within themselves? Is that about me, or is it about them? And I do that the same when I respond to people in unkind ways. I ask myself, was it really about what the person did to me, or is there something deeper that is within me that needs to be healed? Is there something deeper that is within me that needs to be dealt with, that I have been ignoring, that I'm not dealing with? So this conversation can go on forever. I really hope that you're able to take something away from today's sit down, and then let me know in the comment section below what you want us to touch more on, or how you feel about self-forgiveness as a whole, and how do you show yourself self-love? Is it by going to the gym, or taking yourself out for lunch as I do, or buying yourself that bottle of perfume? People who know me know. So yeah, how do you show yourself that self-love? How are you appreciating yourself? How are you showing yourself self-care? Anyway guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and give it a thumbs up. That helps me know that you actually like this content. And share your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below, because that will also help me know what kind of content you want to see more of, what ministers to you, what blesses you. It's bye-bye for now, and I will see you on the next one.